Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, week 4 of the APA, the St. Louis Rampardos are taking on the Boston Beedrills and coach Miticus in an epic week 4 showdown. Now last week we had a pretty close matchup. If you guys didn't see, you can check out the description below for a link to that, or just search on my channel. It was a pretty close game, and after some thought, I will spoil it right now, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But here's a little spoiler. I did kind of choke it away. I really thought about those last couple turns after the match, and while I was pretty adamant on the fact that the play I made with the Gengar versus the Hydreigon, I was really confident that Gengar was scarfed, but hindsight, I should have just attacked the Gengar, because if he had knocked me out with Dazzling Gleam, I would have been able to go into Nidoking for free, and then I would have still had Nidoking and Sylveon, and I would have been able to pressure him that way, and I think Sylveon could have, you know, pressured the Blastoise, so we would have been in a situation where I do think I could have whittled him down. It would have been close, though, because he was Assault Vest Blastoise with a lot of special defense, so I don't know, but, you know, it's a sad situation, because we could have won the game. Week 1, we lost, you know, really, it was close, but either way, we're back, hopefully gonna win this one, and just so you guys know, this is the last game with this team. Next week, we have a brand new team, and tomorrow I'll have my draft breakdown uploaded as well, so keep an eye out for that, because my draft breakdown for my brand new team is going to be coming up, and we've got 4 weeks of battles with my new team. It's going to be really cool, so I'm excited for that. Anyway, real quick, we're going to run through the team, what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing it. I'll go really fast so we can just jump into the battle here, but you can see his team. He's got a Latios, obviously known as being a good defogger, but could be like a calm mindset, very offensive. Skarmory, incredibly physically defensive, really shuts down things like Bulu, Lopunny. He's got a Mega Gyarados, which is one of the most fearsome setup sweepers in the game because of Intimidate, being able to click Dragon Dance on almost everything, and the fact that when a Mega evolves, it has insane bulk. Mimikyu is a really, really good Revenger. It's incredibly good with setting up with Swords Dance, and then having the ability to use Shadow Sneak and Z moves like Let's Snuggle Forever. He's got a Donphan, bulky, ground type that can spin instead of rocks. Salazzle's kind of a threat, because if it sets up Nasty Plot, I don't really have good switch-ins to it. Scarf Salazzle's very scary as well. Alomola is incredibly physically bulky, difficult to take down. He's got a Jolteon, which is super fast, hits pretty hard, especially with a Life Orb or Specs. A Selgor, very fast Pokemon as well. Not really expecting to see that, though. Medicham, I could see as a choice Scarf user, just hitting really hard with pure power. And then Articuno, again, I don't really anticipate. So you can see from that, I've got some pretty tough decisions to make. So let's run through the team and kind of talk about what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it here. So we're going to be kicking things off with Sylveon. I feel like Sylveon's very good because it helps me deal with a couple things. It helps me slow down the Lati. It helps me just sponge hits naturally from a couple things like Gyarados. It helps me just form a defensive switch in. I've got Psyshock on there as a way to hopefully catch the Salazzle off guard, but we are basically very, very physically defensive Sylveon. I've got my Mega Lopunny here. I normally would run Jolly, and I was gonna run Jolly because that would allow us to outspeed Jolteon, but I'm gonna do a little shenanigans here. I'm actually go for Adamant because I want that little bit of extra damage output. It allows me to one-shot Mimikyu after a fake out, so I really, really want to be able to do that. It may cost me in the game, like if Jolteon versus Lopunny and he's faster, I'm gonna look like an idiot, but that's okay. Power Up Punch for boost, and then High Jump Kick with Adamant actually can two-shot the Skarmory after Rock. So there's a couple of reasons why I'm going Adamant here, and there's a big risk involved, but fake out return, High Jump Kick, Power Up Punch, get those little boosts, and then hit really hard with High Jump Kick. I've got a choice Specs Volcanion here. I feel like even though he has things like Gyarados and Lati and Alomola, I actually feel like choice Specs Volcanion really puts in a lot of work. Steam Eruption, Fire Blast, Hidden Power, Grass, and Focus Blast. If I could just click Steam Eruption a few times, got a really hard time against it. It's a great switch in against Skarmory. It can really pressure his team and be kind of the offensive Pokemon to break through his walls. I've got a choice Scarf Hydreigon here, bringing a physical set with Fire Blast. Fire Blast is designed for Skarmory. We are choice Scarf. We're going to mainly be going for U-turns and stuff like that, but I've also got Crunch on there. The reason why is because I'm a little worried about a Calm Mind Latios. Crunch is going to do a lot of damage to that thing, and it makes it so I don't just lose to Calm Mind. And Iron Tail is there because it does one-shot Mimikyu if his disguise is broken. So high risk, high reward play, but it does one-shot the Mimikyu, which otherwise Hydreigon's very good against. Obviously, he could play rough, but he can't set up Swords Dances and then beat me with Shadow Sneak. I can always stop that. I've got Nidoking, which is a max speed, or relatively max speed Nidoking, faster than Gyarados. Earth Power, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Stealth Rock. This thing is also a tremendously good wall breaker, very similar to our Hydreigon set. So just a really, really powerful Pokemon here that can break through his team. And last but not least is going to be our Voltergeist. Really hoping I don't see Donphan / Jolteon, because then I could freely Volt Switch around. Bring in 2 choice Scarfers, Hydreigon and Voltergeist here. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Blizzard, and Defog. Had to bring Defog because he's got a lot of threats that can set up hazards. A Selgor, Skarmory, you know, Donphan can all set hazards. I think that this match could come down to whether I hit my Blizzards or not, so that's something very important to note there. Last but not least, question today is, what is your favorite Rotom form and competitive Pokemon? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button down below for this team recap being under 5 minutes, or about 5 minutes, and I'm going to jump into the battle so I don't waste any of your time, and so we can get it over with. Let's do it! St. Louis Rampardos, Boston Beedrills going down right now. Alright guys, we are connected with Miticus. Let's find out exactly which 6 Pokemon he's going to be bringing in this battle, man. It should be pretty fun, dude. I definitely did some mocks, tested out a couple different teams, and this is ultimately what I came to. So he actually does bring a Selgor, does not bring Gyarados, so a little surprised to see that. We'll see if I can snag an Selgor. I am using some shiny sprites, by the way, on the layout because I want to use the HD sprites, and I don't have all of them non-HD. I was just asking on Twitter for them. No Jolteon does bring, what is it called? What is that other Pokemon? Medicham. Okay, gotta be careful for that Medicham. That thing's definitely a monster, and that's why we have our nice little Sylveon. So Skarmory, Salazzle, Selgor, Lottie, Medicham, and Mimikyu. So no Gyarados, which is nice. So we've got a Selgor, and then no Jolteon. We have Medicham. So I actually really like the prospect of leading with my Rotom, because I can just Volt Switch out on pretty much everything. Hydreigon also does something similar in U-turning, but I think I like Rotom more because it can pressure the pretty much everything, actually, and is really solid. So let's do that. Let's lead with Rotom. I like that play. I don't want to lead with Krakatoa just because I feel like it just allows him to set up hazards against me. So I really like Rotom because like just Volt Switching out is like just a really good strategy against him. I know I'm gonna pretty much outspeed everything. I don't anticipate him leading Skarm. I think he probably leads like fake out Medicham or a Selgor with like Sash or whatever, and I could break that Sash right away and just go for a Volt Switch. So I really like the prospect there, and it just works out really well. It like threatens Lottie. I just think Rotom's a really good lead here, so it's kind of a no-brainer. The one hiccup is if he like leads like Scarf Salazzle and Fire Blast me. That would be really bad, but you know, that seems less likely. So here's Hades, and that is going to be the Selgor. So chances are this thing is going to try to do one of a couple things. I do believe I'm faster. I didn't actually check that. Selgor is super duper fast, but I'm pretty sure I made sure that we were faster than a Selgor. He maxed at 216, and I think I did check this. I'm pretty sure I did. We hit 220, so yeah, we do outspeed. So I have a pretty safe Volt Switch here. It seems like a really good play. I can just Volt Switch him for about 50%, and then I have the opportunity to really go into whatever I want. So, and then I can kind of go from there. So I think I'm just going to do that. I think I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch here, hit him for that 50%. If he wants to set up hazards, that's fine. I can go into either my Lopunny, or I can go into my Sylveon. Most likely Sylveon, I think, makes the most sense, because then I can proceed to kind of pressure him down. But let's see how much this Volt Switch does. It should do about 50% to him. You know, and we'll kind of see. He might try to spike stack me, so we'll see. He's actually scarfed himself, so we just got some good information there that is a choice scarfed Selgor. So we know that is actually really good to know. We could just put scarf here, and it has U-turn, so perfect. Good to know that he didn't try to focus blast me, because he would have done a lot of damage to me. And I'm actually really happy about this situation, because I'm free to Volt Switch now, and then I'm also free to get some momentum and some initiative against him. He doesn't know I'm scarfed. You know, that actually works out really well. So Scarfed Selgor, okay. I'm not really sure why he brought Scarfed Selgor, except for a way to outspeed Scarfed Hydreigon and things like that. So I have to keep that in mind. But Scarfed Selgor really lacks a lot of power output. So I don't see any way that he's gotta be Scarfed. So he's gonna go Lottie. So this is actually fine by me. I'm gonna just get a Volt Switch off here. And this actually gives me a really nice opportunity to go right into my Hydreigon, which is going to basically indicate, hey, listen, I'm a choice Scarf Hydreigon. I'm not even going to think about it. We're just going right into Hydreigon here. If he brings Scarf Lottie, then so be it. But Hydreigon's really solid here, and I can just pressure him with U-turn. And we're going to actually see the leftovers. So we're getting some really valuable information here. I just can U-turn, honestly. Like, I don't see why I don't just U-turn, because I could just go right into Sylveon if he decides to stay in an attack, and we'll be able to pressure him quite a bit. So I'm just going to U-turn. Chances are his best way to hit me is since we've seen leftovers, is he could be like a, kind of a, whatchamacallit set. A like Calm Mind, Ice Beam T-Bolt, or Psychic Shadow Ball set. So I don't anticipate him having Dragon coverage on this thing, if I'm being totally honest. I think he'd rather probably run Ice Beam T-Bolt or Psychic Shadow Ball, if I had to guess. But we know he's defensive, or he's not necessarily defensive, but he's not like, you know, hyper offensive. So we're going to put him at 90% here. And we're going to just go for U-turn. And U-turn's going to hurt. U-turn's going to hurt. I mean, I could knock him out here with a crunch. In fact, he really doesn't have good switches to a crunch. Perhaps I should have just went for the crunch, but I think U-turn's just a really good play here for momentum. I have my Sylveon, you know, and I can deal with the Medicham regardless. Although Medicham is going to be very scary in this matchup, so. I could also go Lopunny too after a U-turn. If he stayed in, I could just go Lopunny if I wanted. Because he's not going to Psychic, obviously, on Hydreigon, so... And Low Pony can take 1 hit from him. So we'll see what he decides to do. Like, I probably should have just went for the Crunch, to be honest. Because his best switch in would be the Skarmory. And he's got to think that I'm going to be specially offensive. So, I probably should have Crunched, to be honest. I'm going to say that this U-turn here is probably misplay. Yeah, Crunch was the better play. I would have knocked him out, but this is going to do like half. Yeah, it does a good chunk to him. Okay. So, I have some decisions to make here. Do I just go straight into my Low Pony? Do I go into my Bella? Do I predict an Ice Beam and go into Voltergeist? Do I go into Low Pony predicting Ice Beam? He's obviously, like, more defensive, I think. I don't think he's, like, super offensive. That's tricky. I mean, obviously, Bella is, like, a really safe play, because then I could just pressure him with Hyper Voice. I just, like, don't want to take damage on Bella, because it's so important in this matchup. So important in this matchup. How much is Lola taking? He's not going to Psychic, so... I mean, if he's Psychic, that'd just be, like, top tier play, dude. That'd just be, like, a really top tier play. I'm going to take, like, 30%. I'm going to make the play into Lola here. It's a bit risky, but I'm feeling like I want to, you know, try to dent his team a little bit. So let's see what he's going to go for. He's going to go for the Dragon Pulse. So he actually is carrying Dragon Pulse. A little surprised to see that, if I'm being totally honest. I actually didn't anticipate him bringing Dragon Pulse. So he does a lot of damage to us, and we've gotten this thing pretty weakened here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to switch out. So I think I'm going to go right into my Krakatoa here, or my Voltergeist. Either one. I don't need to stay in here with Low Pony, because he just goes Skarm hardcore on Low Pony every time. So I think I want to go Krakatoa here, or Voltergeist. I like Krakatoa because he really doesn't have good switch-ins to Scald. I'm going to go Krakatoa here and predict the switch into Skarmory. He's going to switch. He goes Aether. That's Skarmory. Okay. So I make one bad play there. Crunch would have probably knocked out Laddie, but it's okay. I have a better idea of what that Laddie set is. It's alright. Just got to focus on this play. My play is Steam Eruption, because I think even Laddie doesn't want to take the Steam Eruption at this point. And he risks the burn. Nothing on his team really wants to take it. And Skarmory here is going to take a lot of damage. It's going to get knocked down to Sturdy, and we have a chance to knock it out with burn as well. He obviously can try to set up Stealth Rocks right now, though. If I'm him, that's probably what I would do. Just get the rocks up and just say, hey, you know what, Skarm, you tried. But he may also go Laddie here. If he doesn't know I'm Specs, obviously, so the fact that I'm Specs is really good here, because I can really put a lot of pressure on him with Specs Volcanion. And knowing that Laddie is weakened, that indicates that, like, I actually probably just knock out Latios at this point with Steam Eruption. There's not even a reason to predict. Yeah, Steam Eruption should knock out Latios at the range he was at, so... And if not, the burn will definitely do the KO. So, and I have a little tiny bit of speed on Volcanion just for Skarmory. I don't know if he would have put a lot of speed on his because of Bulu. I don't see why, though. But I figures he's got to be physically defensive, probably with Rocky Helmet. And I think he probably knows that. Yeah, he's gonna just hard switch. If he goes Laddie, he's dead. Yeah, I think we got this KO here. That's pretty close. I mean, I'm supposed to be doing 50%, so I would imagine this should knock him out, unless he's very bulky, and it does. So good stuff. Okay. Volcanion, KOs, Latios with Steam Eruption. Okay. Now, the nice thing here is I just got rid of his Latios, and now he's got to figure out, like, what do I bring in against Volcanion? And I don't know what the answer is on his end, to be honest, because a Medicham high jump kick is not going to knock me out. Like, it does like 50%. Volcanion is very bulky. It's very bulky. So, I'm not exactly sure what he goes into here. Maybe Mimikyu, but even that. I'm going to be able to get a C, and if I burn the Mimikyu, like, Volcanion is very good against this team. I have an opportunity to really break through him right here. So, and every time Skarm comes in, I get to click Steam Eruption. So, I have to play my Volcanion smart. If Medicham comes in, I think I have to go for the Steam Eruption, but he does not have a really good switch into this thing at this point. And Mimikyu is in a weird spot because all I need is a little bit of damage. Once Disguise is broken, Low Pony comes in, he cannot revenge kill me with Shadow Sneak on Low Pony, and Hydreigon can obviously eat the hit. I have Iron Tail for a reason. You know, I feel okay right now. I'm a little concerned because that is Selgor. I think that being Scarfed makes this a little trickier, but As long as my Sylveon is healthy, Selgor is not an issue for me. And I have Psyshock, so he's gonna go Hades, which is gonna be the Selgor here. And, you know, he could obviously go for whatever he wants to here. I just, knowing he's Scarfed, I just feel like I Steam Eruption here because something has to take the hit. And I don't see what a Selgor can do to me if he's Scarfed. I mean, he can obviously go for, if he's max HP, he can Final Gambit here and try to take me out with a Final Gambit. That would be the only thing I can think of, Scarf Final Gambit. So I guess in that regard, if I thought he was going to Final Gambit here, what is my best play? And I actually do feel like he's going to Final Gambit. So, do I need Voltergeist anymore? I'm going to guess probably not. I'm going to go into my Voltergeist and sack it off here, I think. Or do I... Is it Nidoking that I save? I kind of like Nidoking. I kind of want to sack off Voltergeist. I'm going to take a gamble and say that he has Final Gambit, but... Because he wouldn't need speed investment if he was Scarfed. He wouldn't need a lot. I think he's got Final Gambit. I'm going to go Voltergeist here and find out what he's going to do. He does Final Gambit. We make the right play. Good. A Selgor kills Rotom with Final Gambit. A Selgor dies to Final Gambit. Okay, perfect. That was... I mean, I lose my Rotom, right? That stinks, but, like, he has nothing for Volcanion. I don't think. I think I just go Volcanion and I Steam Eruption again. I mean, he could go Mimikyu. I mean, I could also go Hydreigon, but I think I just go Volcanion. I mean, Hydreigon's nice because it just U-turns on whatever. Like, it's pretty solid there. I could also go Lopunny and get my Mega off and get a Fake Out off, which could be nice against a handful of things. Although if Skarmory comes in, that's not so good. I'm going to just go Volcanion because I feel like Volcanion really rips through his team. The one thing I will say is now that I lost Rotom, my options for dealing with Skarmory are a little bit lessened, but it's not like he has easy switch-ins to Nidoking anyway, so I like my positioning here, because we just got rid of that Scarf to Selgor, and we got rid of his Laddie, and Volcanion should be able to knock something out right now. Because Salazzle can't knock me out with a Sludge Wave, Medicham can't knock me out with a high jump kick, and Mimikyu can obviously go for a Swords Dance, but like, it's not gonna do that much, and he obviously runs the risk of getting burned off the Steam Eruption. And I can switch out if I had to. I can also Fake Out and then knock him out with Lopunny. So here comes Athena, which is what? The Medicham. Okay. And this is one of the bigger threats. So I'm actually totally fine here just going for Steam Eruption and taking damage. Not an issue, because I one-shot him. So he can high jump kick, it's not going to knock me out. Volcanion is incredibly bulky, which is awesome. I mean, it's got 120 base defense, so we'll see if he has Fake Out or not right now. But my Steam Eruption one-shots him, and his high jump kick does about 50% to me if he's Life Orb. And if he's Banded, he still doesn't knock me out, and I one-shot him back. So I should be able to get rid of this Medicham, and this is definitely a huge threat, this Medicham. And as long as, like, King is healthy, I can beat the Salazzle. He doesn't have any, like, King beats the Skarmory, it beats the Salazzle. I mean, I could take one Fire Blast. I mean, Fire MZ would probably nuke King, but he is going to high jump kick. He does hit it. I have to hit a Steam Eruption here. This should do about half. Whoa, he's banded. I don't miss, though, which is just a blessing, because if I missed, I would have been very sad. He's choice banded, though. Volcanion kills Medicham with Steam Eruption. Okay, cool. I got rid of that. Medicham's gone. He's got Skarmory, Salazzle, Mimikyu. Okay. I'm trying to think of what my best approach here is. I think if he goes Salazzle, I think I just let him knock me. Like, I mean, I definitely want to try to save Volcanion. Here comes Achilles. That's going to be what, Salazzle? Yeah, here comes Salazzle. Okay, and I'm sitting at a pretty low amount of health here. I don't want to allow him to Nasty Plot right now. I really don't. I really also value keeping Krakatoa alive. I really do, because it comes in on the Skarmory and just destroys him. So, like, do I need my do I need my Hydreigon right now? I don't know. I mean, if Hydreigon comes in, I can pressure him with U-turn. I think I'm gonna just go Hydreigon because even if he's Scarfed, it's not an issue. I can just hit him with a Crunch or something like that. I can take a Sledge Wave. I'm just gonna go Hydreigon here. I think even Krakatoa is actually worth. And if he nasty plots, then I have Fake Out, Return to knock him out. So I can pressure him that way. But let's go Hydreigon. He's probably gonna just Sledge Wave. He does Sledge Wave. It should do about half. Unless he's like offensive. Does about half. Okay. So we see the Sledge Wave. Now, I can choose to do a couple things here. I can just Crunch. I can go for a U-turn. I can just try to get damage off on him. I think I want to Crunch, though, is my guess. Because I just want to Crunch. Just get as much damage off on him as I can. If he goes Skarmory, I mean, all he saw was U-turn so far. I'm just going to Crunch for damage. I think that's my safest play. If he goes Skarmory, then obviously I'm going to want to switch out. But I have a Nidoking in a really good spot. And once Skarmory goes down, he has no way to deal with Lopunny. Unless this is Scarf Salazzle, which we would find out right now. Because I feel like if I was him, I would just go for the Sledge Wave here. But if he's Scarfed. I mean, U-turn seems like a great play, but I think I just Crunch. If he goes Skarmory, then so be it. I'm going to have to make a play. I mean, I don't really need my Sylveon anymore. So I probably just go Sylveon and just, like, Baton Pass on the Skarmory. And then that can get me back into Hydreigon or get me into Lopunny or whatever. He's going to switch. He's going to go Skarm. Yeah, here comes Skarm. Okay. So I am a little concerned about him starting to try to set up hazards against me. I get a little bit of damage. He has Rocky Helmet. How much does Krakatoa have? Krakatoa is at 62 out of 185. So you can definitely switch in. I do like Reptar here. Because Reptar can come in and just like immediately pressure him with T-Ball. And he doesn't really have a good switch in for that. And it shuts him down from setting up multiple layers of hazards against me. I mean, I'd love to go Krakatoa here. But if he Brave Birded, I would look kind of dumb. Although I guess it's not that big of a deal. Skarmory. Fizdef going for a Brave Bird against Volcanion. He could have U-turn. That's the only other thing I'm thinking of. I think I live. I'm gonna go Volcanion here. I'm gonna trust that Volcanion's faster because I feel like I still have Nidoking, which can T-Bolt. So I'm gonna go Volcanion here and see what he wants to do. I feel like I see him going for rocks, but he just goes for rocks. Okay. And now I get to just go for Steam Eruption, and something takes a Steam Eruption to the face right now. So we're just gonna go for it. I don't have to predict. Now, there is the chance that he's faster than me. I don't know if he puts speed on this thing, though. I mean, I have a tiny bit of speed on Volcanion just to outspeed Skarmory. So, I put 20 speed points. So, it's like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, like 3 points. So, but he has not really any switch-ins. That Mimikyu play was definitely interesting. I have to be careful. I don't want to lose to Mimikyu here. So we have to really be careful around that. Because even though Hydreigon can take a hit, it can take a Shadow Sneak. I still have to be very careful. You know, I'm going to have to Fake Out. Like, Fake Out Lopunny is pretty clutch, though. And I mean, Nidoking can take a hit. He's going to just stay in. I'm going to hit a Steam Eruption, and Volcanion's going to get another kill here. So Volcanion with 3 kills, and not too shabby. We got rid of Skarm. He got his rocks up, though, so good play on his part. I mean, I got in before rocks. So he's got this Salazzle now, and Hydreigon's in a situation now where you can start crunching things. I've also got Nidoking, which can come in, and it can just go for Earth Power against Salazzle, which I really like, and that pressures the Mimikyu as well. So, honestly, I'm in a situation right now where I feel okay. My Nidoking should be able to take a Fire Blast from Salazzle. I guess that would be the only issue, is like if Salazzle is rocking Fire MZ and goes for a Z Fire Blast, I feel like he would knock me out. So that is definitely something to note there. But if he's not Z Salazzle, then Lopunny beats him with Fake Out plus return, or just Fake Out in general. Yeah, Fake Out plus return. So I think Lopunny is a really good bring in here. I'm gonna just Steam Eruption whatever happens anyway to break the disguise. But Lopunny should be poised to hopefully hold this game down. don't feel like that Salazzle is scarfed, if I had to guess. Like, I don't see him bringing Scarf a Selgor and Scarf Salazzle against my team. Especially when we have, like, Cobalion. And Salazzle outspeeds a lot of my team anyway, so I just don't see why he would do that. Like, run Scarf on it. Although, if he is Scarf Salazzle, like, I definitely am in a weird spot. I'm definitely in a weird spot. But my play is Steam Eruption, no matter what, at this point with Volcanion. That way I can't just lose straight up to this thing. So, I need to... Burn would be awesome here. We're going to Steam Eruption. But I just need to break this thing's disguise, because then Lopunny beats it. Unless he's Scarfed. But if he's Scarfed, he's not Swords Dance, and then he's not scary. That's scary anyway. And actually, I don't even know if Shadow Claw knocks me out. Unless he Z moves. So we just Steam Eruption. We have a 30% chance to burn him, even if he SDs. And even if he does SD, I break his disguise, and then put myself in a situation where Lopunny can fake out. And can beat him that way. So, we have some options. And that's the other thing, too. He's going to sub. So, he's going to try to stall me out here. I think he's maybe hoping that I miss, or... I mean, I'm going to break his sub, so... That's interesting. So, he's sub. I definitely didn't expect sub on his Mimikyu. Because... I mean, is he sub berry? I don't know. How many Steam Eruptions? I have 4. So, we have enough. He's going to sub again. So, he's trying to stall me out of Eruptions here. But this is... 2. I break it. He's gonna set 3. He's gonna set 4, and then I'm actually gonna have to struggle. So this is actually kind of tricky. He's in a he put himself in a situation here that I'm gonna run out of Steam Eruptions, I think. Maybe not. I think I'll have 1 extra. Let me see here. He's gonna sub. I break it. He subs again. I break it, and then I break the disguise. Okay, that's what I wanted. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if he's like a berry. Like, is he a super... If he's like a speed boosting berry, but I have fake out, so I don't know. I don't know, and Hydreigon's still faster, so I'm just gonna keep Steam Eruption. If he's Salic, like sub Salic, I guess I could see that. But Hydreigon's still faster. This is weird, this is a crazy set. Didn't expect to see that. Alright, we have to hit this Steam Eruption to break this up. He is a berry. Is he Salic? He is Salic. I have to hit this Steam Eruption. Okay, I gotta hit 1 more Steam Eruption. I have 1 left. So, all I have to do is break the disguise. He is Salic. But once I break the disguise, I have fake out on Lopunny, so we're good. So let's Steam Eruption 1 more time. Just gotta break the disguise. He Swords Dances, so he's sub SD. But again, Lopunny, if I just break his disguise right here, Lopunny just fake outs and kills him, so it's not an issue. Don't miss. Thank you. Alright, you did a good job, Volcanion. Your job was to do that. Your job was to do just that. And we get the burn, so it doesn't even matter. Volcanion's gonna kill the Mimikyu, so it all works out. Kills Mimikyu with burn from Steam Eruption. So Volcanion, in his final game as a Rampardos, gets 4 kills so far, which is phenomenal. I will say, I think Volcanion we actually brought every single week. Is that true? I did bring Volcanion every single week, and for a Pokemon that actually ended up being one of my last picks in the draft, I'm really happy with it. Now, I am struggling here. I do have to struggle. A sub Salazzle would actually be kind of problematic right now, but I do feel like I can still beat it because I have Hydreigon to crunch. So, I have to kind of struggle right now, which is interesting. He's going to Z. So, I don't know what Z move it is. It is Dark Z, Ghost Z, I don't know. But Salazzle's definitely going to get the kill here. Kills Volcanion with Acid Downpour. So he just goes for the Z move. I had a feeling that this thing could have been Z move. So that's fine. He's going to knock me out. So good kill there. I'm in a situation now where I just go Lopunny right now. I just fake out. And then we just click. We know he's not scarfed anymore. So we just go Lopunny 100%. We click fake out. We click return. And this should be game. We're going to take some rocks damage. I don't know if Salazzle gets Sucker Punch, but it wouldn't be able to knock me out anyway. So let's Mega Evolve and let's go for Fake Out. And we found out that he was Z-Move. I thought he would be Fire Z, to be honest, but the Acid Downpour is actually good because it allows him to beat Sylveon, whereas Sylveon actually could have lived a hit, and then I have Psyshock. Let's go for Fake Out here. Hopefully I didn't do anything stupid. That should do a lot of damage to him. It does. He's flinched. And then Lopunny should be able to seal the deal here with Return. I checked my happiness before the match. So, Lopunny should be in good shape. So, Lop KOs Salazzle with Return. GG. So we're gonna take a nice win there. I think that's 3-0 or 4-0. We had Sylveon. I think that's 4-0, right? 4-0. Yeah, nice win, 4-0. So good games to Miticus, dude. That was definitely a pretty close match. I think that ultimately, like, I made some really, really good plays. I'm pretty proud of how I played. I feel like I was very frustrated last week after losing that game, but I knew I could bounce back here and hopefully pick up a W against Miticus, and we did. I think the biggest play in this match, so I really want to call this out, was predicting the final gambit on his Aselgor. The fact that he led with it kind of tipped me off that maybe it could be final gambit, but I really thought it would be like Spikes. The fact that he was scarfed immediately told me that he had to be final gambit in that situation because his team had nothing for Volcanion. He had to go for it, and it was a really smart play because had I stayed in, I would have lost my Volcanion, which was my hugest threat for his team. Like, it honestly just absolutely decimated his team. Way better than everything else I had. So, because he would have been able to go into like something like Medicham and really put in a lot of pressure and been able to get his Salazzle to put in work. But Volcanion just had such an easy time. As soon as it came in against Skarmory every time, it just wrecked something with Steam Eruption. I mean, you saw it did 50% to Latios, which is nuts. So that play right there, I think, was the turning point of the match. So I'm really happy that that worked out in my favor and I was able to correctly predict that final gambit there and say, you know what, Rotom is my least useful member, despite the fact that Volt Switch was so good in this match. I said, you know what, I think this is definitely my least useful member. Let's just throw this aside, take that final gambit, and then ultimately get myself in a situation to get my Volcanion back in for free, so that way I can get another KO. And then we proceeded to just kill the Medicham there, and then we were able to kill the Skarmory, and then we were able to kill the Mimikyu with the clutch burn. So definitely just a good match overall, and I'm pretty happy with how we played. Next week we have a new team. Like I said, we have a draft breakdown, brand new team. You get to see it tomorrow, guys, on the channel. Look for the draft breakdown. Please show some love there. Hit that like button here. Subscribe if you guys are new, and you can check out my opponent in the description below. But brand new team for 4 weeks, man. I'm really excited about it. I'm looking at the team right now. We've got some old favorites, man. Some old favorites and some new threats, dude. So I'm really pumped about it. I think you guys are gonna dig it, man. I had a good time with this team, though. I mean, 2-2. I would have liked to be 3-1, man. I would have liked to be 4-0. I could have been 4-0, honestly. Like, looking back with some better plays and a tiny bit better prep, we could have been 4-0. But I'm happy to be 2-2 right now, all things considered. And we'll try to keep the win streak going next week with a brand new team. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.